Hey everybody, it's Rick Trummer from Rick Trummer Consulting and Training, and welcome to another video in my series on NIK filters. Yesterday we started the discussion on the Sharpener Pro that's inside Photoshop or inside the NIK filters setup, and I kind of went through and kind of showed you the raw sharpening item that's kind of in here. However, a lot of people don't necessarily think they need it because they're doing the Adobe or letting Photoshop or Lightroom do that from Adobe. And I said, if you turn that off, then go ahead and use that raw sharpener. But otherwise, there's really no need to have that sharpener at all. So it's just which algorithm do you like better? Okay. So the idea is that either program is designed to add some sharpening when you're going in, and really what it's doing is it's just adding the sharpening that was taken away in the lens process of real nature. So there's always a little bit of sharpening that's taken away. Even with your sharpest lenses, there's always a little bit of sharpening that gets removed. The idea of Photoshop doing it, whether you're doing it in ACR, or Lightroom, they're just adding in that sharpness that you're losing out there. So again, that's what the Sharpener Pro does in the raw conversion area. Today I'm going to start going in and showing you a little bit of the different sharpeners that are inside some other the actual output sharpener, which I think is probably a lot more crucial to the process, and I think you're going to enjoy it a lot more. So again, whether or not you do this in Lightroom or do this here, it doesn't matter to me. I'm going to be demonstrating in Lightroom, but in Photoshop. But keep in mind, if you are Lightroom users and you're a purity person who wants to do everything in Lightroom, you can do this all from Lightroom. I just personally like to work in the layers part of it, and I think it's easier for me to be able to do that if I want to add a mask and pull some sharpening. No matter what sharpening you're doing, you have to be careful to not do too much sharpening. If you're adding too much sharpening, you're going to create haloing. And when you do haloing, as we all know, around the edges, you're going to definitely need a mask to pull that off. And that's where being in Photoshop is going to be kind of crucial. So today, instead of going into the raw conversion area or the raw pre-sharpener that we did yesterday, let's go into the Sharpener Pro 3, and we're going to go into the output area. Again, if you're taking a look at these interfaces or these dialogues that come up, they're all pretty much the same when you're inside the NIK filter area. I'm going to enlarge this a little bit so that you can see this a little bit larger. But when you're in here, they're all working off of the same kind of conversion area or the same kind of template that they have. So that's one thing that the NIK filters have in common, just like I suppose with any third-party filtration system, they're all going to kind of work off of this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take you into the output sharpener, because this is where you're going to be able to add some really, really nice things in there. By the way, for those of you who are out there, if you hold down the space bar and click in, you'll be able to kind of zoom into the area itself. I like to use the loop and actually go into the loop area, and then I can move this around. It's much easier for me to do that here. So it's completely up to you how you want to zoom or however you feel that you want to be able to do that. If you double click on any of the file, you'll be able to click on right into the file area. And as you can see here, there's a little bit of softening that's already been added onto this. And this was a file that I went through and processed first. And so there's a little bit of softening, and so adding a little bit of sharpness certainly could be added inside here. Once you double click again, it'll go back out. So regardless of whether you double click to go in or double click to go out, you'll be able to do that here. And once you do that, over in your loop, in your navigator area over here, you'll be able to kind of click in to the area you want. Just click and hold, and you'll be able to drag it to any of the areas that you want to be able to take a closer look onto. So let's go ahead and take a look at the output that we're going to be doing. The first thing you want to do is click into the output that you're going to be using. So up here under the output sharpening area, right now you'll notice that we have it outputting to display. If we're outputting to display, we're doing that, it's to a computer monitor. So you're going to find out that you're going to have quite a bit of sharpness on there, although depending on your monitor, you may have a little bit less or a little bit more depending on the age and the brand and the type of monitor it is, etc. If you're like I am, you do a lot of this stuff on inkjet and things like that. So let's click into inkjet. You'll notice a couple nice things that come up when you click into an inkjet output. You'll be able to do your viewing distance. You'll be able to put in auto. I would leave this here. Viewing distance is the distance that you're going to be viewing this particular image after it's on the wall or whoever. So if your normal distance is 4 feet or 3 feet or whatever the normal distance is for viewing that you believe in, you can go in here and actually put in meters where you want to be as far as that. I normally leave this to auto. It's just best to do it that way, and instead of trying to put an exact feet range in, because some people may get up a little bit closer, a little bit less. If you're one of those people who are using this sharpening technique, let's say for competition, you might want to know that a lot of judges get up, walk in, and get a little bit closer to that stuff. So maybe you want to add a little bit more sharpening than you would normally. But again, make sure that you're not doing so much sharpening that's taking care of that haloing effect that goes out there. So again, it all depends on your output device. So you'll be able to click in and put your paper here, so you can put in your canvas, your plain paper, your mat, etc. If you're on a luster, just click into that, and then you'll be able to click into the resolution. What resolution are you outputting to? So based on your resolution, you'll be able to just pop it in here. So you can see this is a very intuitive type of filter that you're going to be able to go inside here. The power to all of this really is in the creative sharpening area inside here, and we're going to talk a lot more about that tomorrow. But as we go in, this is a really, really quick area to be able to go in, do some zooming kind of inside here, kind of figure out where you are. And tomorrow we're going to finish up with going in and doing the sharpening filter. And I'm going to explain the rest of the tools and some of the rest of the buttons that are inside here. So again, I want to thank you for watching this series on the NIK filters. In the output area, we're going to finish it all up tomorrow. I like to keep these videos very, very small in length and not go over like 5 or 6 minutes because a lot of people like these quick videos. So tune back in tomorrow. I got you. I'm hoping I've got you on the hook here that you're going to want to come in and see the rest of the video so you can see what's going on in the final phases here. So until tomorrow, I'm Rick Trummer from Rick Trummer Consulting and Training, and I'll see you on the tube.